Hey, it's Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we're going to do a walkthrough of a 2020 Mercedes-Benz AMG 63. So this is the muscle car version of the Mercedes GLC, I think. I'm gonna have to look. Anyway, pretty sure that's what it is. But I'll put it across the screen if I'm totally wrong, and it's very possible I am, because all these luxury makes they just throw random letters and numbers and stuff on his names. It's annoying. Anyway, nothing else about this vehicle is annoying. It's got a button for loud pipes. That's always a good sign. All right, so let's walk through. We'll just go really quick. So you can see this has a Ballmeister stereo, so there's one of the speakers there. This is the seat adjustment, so in Mercedes fashion it's up on the door. Up above it you can see there's seat warming. There's not seat cooling, but I believe that is an option in this vehicle. That's just not added. Here's the door locks, here's the door handle, and then here's the mirrors. So this folds the mirrors in if you're, manually. So if you manually need to do that instead of just locking the doors like a car wash or something. Over here adjusts the side mirrors. Here's your door windows, right? And then this locks those windows. So you have, all of them are automatic, which you should expect if you're paying the price for this car. All right, now here's some interesting stuff to show you. First, look at that vent. Isn't that pretty? Anyway, back to this. I forgot to turn the climate off. You're probably getting a bunch of wind noise right now. There we go. Okay, I'll show you how I did that in a little bit. So you got lighting controls right here. This is obviously these are the fog lamps. Over here is the dimmers for the instrument cluster, and it includes the infotainment screen. Now you got lighting. So you can see I'm on auto right now. If I turn it over here, that's manual headlights, so the headlights are on no matter what. There's the marker lights there. Now, that's the right side parking lights. That's the left side parking lights. Why would you want that? Beats me, I have no clue. But I can tell you one scenario I thought of, which is, say you're parking in a fairly tight garage and you just want to illuminate one side because you got something on the other side brightening things up or something, I don't know. Or it's just really dark on that one side. There you go, that would help. But I don't know why this wouldn't be just as good, but it's a neat feature. I'm sure somebody somewhere can tell me why that is useful. Now down below here you can just see it. There's the parking brake. You push it in to set it and pull it out to release it. So that's kind of the German style, I would say. I used to say Euro style, but it's really only Germans that do that. Over here is the rear hatch. So you pull on that and it releases the rear hatch, opens it up, I should say. You can also close it with that, and you can, if you're pushing it and letting it close, you can release it any time and it will stop closing. Just a feature. Kind of useful, I guess, if you've got a load that's sticking out the back. But if you've got a load sticking out the back, you probably shouldn't be hauling it. But, all right. Now, let's look at this steering wheel. We've seen Mercedes before. We've seen what they look like. Most of this will be familiar to you. There are a couple of things that are different because it is an AMG model. So, this over here, this is the same on pretty much all Mercedes I've been in. You got all your buttons for, here's your back button, here's your home button. This is like a little mouse pad kind of a thing that you can move things around with. So when you do that, it's changing. What we're working on is the driver information screen with this. So kind of neat. And I'll show you what it looks like.
What do you want to do?
I keep saying, I'll have to show you that too. Mercedes cancel. Whenever you say the brand name, it brings up this voice prompt. All right, I'll show you something. There was a cut there and I'll show you why. Anyway, here's a paddle shifter, and then these are controls for the cruise control. So down here you got resume, cancel, cruise control, turn it on, turn it off, and then set and move mileage. You can tap it and it will go 1 mile an hour at a time. You can hold it and it will go by 5s. Now down here, something new. Here's the engine stop start. So you can toggle that here. in some modes, such as Sport mode, which is what I'm in right now, or Sport Plus, this automatically shuts off, and then you can turn it back on manually right here. This is the Make the Pipes Louder button. There are two of these buttons. I'll show you the other one. But this one is right there and convenient. Tap, tap. I see no reason not to use this because it's awesome. Okay, over here, this is actually your drive mode settings. So you go through them like this, see? So there's comfort mode, there's individual mode where you can kind of program it to how you want. There is snow and ice, they call it slippery mode. And then you got Sport, where I was, and Sport Plus, which does a few more things, turns off some of the safety systems and things like that. And then that's all you got. So I've been leaving it in Sport, and I've been making those pipes loud. Now, on this side of the screen, you got another home button, another back button, and another menu, a little, what did I call this, trackpad kind of a thing. That controls infotainment. So I'll show you how that works. I'll show you some of that in a minute, but for the most part, you're swiping with this. You're not really like moving around and selecting something with a mouse. You're swiping and selecting. So you can move back and forth, and then you can push it and select things. That's really the gist of what you're doing right there. Now over here, some other infotainment controls. So you can see you got the telephone over here, telematics. I like that word, even though it doesn't apply here. And then this is volume control up and down. You can push it to mute, and then you can have voice control manually by pushing that up. Or I'll show you, you can just say the name of the car, brand, and it will do it on its own. Really useful feature. I'll show you more of that. And then this is the star thing. So if a song comes on, you really like it, you can hit that, and then you'll get little alerts that say, hey, that song is on, you want to switch to that channel. Up here is the other paddle shifter, and then here's your gear shift. So up and down, it's pretty straightforward, pretty obvious and straightforward. Up and down to get these different gears, you push this button to park. So pretty simple. It does not light up on the stick, but you do see it up there when you shift. So you see right there it changed, and then when I park, it will show park like that. And there's your push button start down over there. On this side, you got windshield washer wipers. So you push this for the washers, you twist this, if I can get a angle, there you go, you can see the different speeds for the wipers, and then this runs the rear wipers, and then you got signal turns up and down and brights back and forth. The first setting on this, it doesn't say it, but the first setting on this for the windshield wipers is basically auto. It will only really run when the wipers need to run. There you go, when it senses rain. Most of the time it does that anyway, so maybe that all the settings are auto. It's just a little more aggressive with each one. I really haven't been able to tell. Now, looking at instruments. So you can see I've got some trip info over here. Got the speedometer, or the tachometer right in the middle. You got a digital speedometer right there. Over here you got some trip information, so you can see how far I've driven. I haven't finished driving this, but I'm trying to do the video today because it's a decent day outside, and I had to get some photos anyway, so I figured, hey, why not? You can see it's almost 40 degrees. That's wintertime in Wyoming. It's awesome. Down here you got fuel and other things. You can see the stop start is off. You can see the AMG badge. This reads stop signs from a camera, or traffic light signs, speed signs. Get it right. Speed signs. I'm trying to talk too fast. That's my problem. So it reads the speed signs using the camera that's mounted up there by the rear view mirror. Okay, now over here, if I go to that menu thing, you see the menus pop up, and then I can page through them, and I can do some stuff. So on the assistance screen, I can go through, and it will tell you a few things that have happened and what your average attention level has been, since it watches you, you know, nanny systems. Performance, so I can look at my performance numbers, and I can see what kind of, see, you can see what's happening with that, tells you what's going on. And that's just me revving the engine. I wasn't doing anything. Over here is trip information, which is where it was before. You can also bring up the nav screen. So right now I don't have anything set, so it's not showing me any information other than this is where I am, right? But you can see I can select previous destinations, I can move around. And then, let's see, you got your radio settings, media settings, and phone, and so on. Now designs, this is the interior feel, right? So I have it on Super Sport. Yeah, Super Sport. Which basically means a lot of the lighting is red. But it's cool, right? I mean, with a name like Super Sport, why are you going to use something else? Super Sport. All right. So for the most part, there's your instrument cluster. Now, see if I missed anything. I don't think I did. Oh, down here. Here is your real-time MPGs or miles per gallon. Yeah, I said that right. And a few other things. You can change this as well using that same menu system. Now moving along, this is the screen. So infotainment is based on this screen. There are several ways to interact with it. You can use what's on the steering wheel like I showed you. You can use this trackpad style device down here, which is fairly okay for driving and stuff. It's pretty good. Or you can just talk to it. So I can say, hey Mercedes,
How may I help you?
navigate me to Starbucks.
Please select from the following locations.
Number 1.
The route is being calculated. In 200 feet, turn left onto Pioneer Avenue and then turn left.
How freaking cool is that? Mercedes, cancel navigation.
Route guidance canceled.
Is that the most awesome thing ever or what? I literally just talked to it. There was no button pushing, no anything. I just talked to it. So you can also do things like this. Hey Mercedes,
How may I help you?
tell me a joke.
Sorry, I'm busy looking at the road.
That's one of several responses I've gotten to that query, by the way. One of them is, it says, I'm made by Germans. So it basically says I have no humor. I'm made by Germans. I can't do that yet. I'm made by Germans. I think that's the response. It's awesome. So lots of cool stuff. You can treat it basically like an Alexa device and just talk to it and tell it what you want. Really cool and works very, very well. Much better than I would expect. There are several reasons for that. They're all technical, but they have to do with the way it processes. It's processing in the car as well as on the cloud. So if it doesn't have a good connection to the cloud, it still can understand most things and it will work. If it has a connection to the cloud, it understands pretty much everything that it's programmed to understand. I mean, you know, you can't ask it like, you know, what's my girlfriend's name next week? I don't know. You can't ask it things like that, but it's really cool. So down here, we're looking at some vents right there, and then you can see climate controls right here. So if you use this, it brings up the climate control menu up there. You can see everything's off, but now you can touch the screen or use this here or whatever to interact with it. Also, you can just use the hard buttons. So this changes temperature. You can see it's dual zone, and then this is where you want it to vent. This turns it off. So by holding this down, I turned it all the way off. Otherwise, it just increases or decreases if you're pushing up or down. And then you have auto mode. So if you turn it on, it's automatic climate, and then I hold it down and it shuts it off. And I think it's off. There we go. Defrosts right here. Sync for the two sides for what they're doing. Recirc there, or AC there. Down here you have some hard controls for that screen up there. So you can go to your telephone menu really quick. Navigation and maps right there. Radio and media right there. Car systems right there. Favorites right there. Duke's lights are right there. Now this, look at this beautiful bougie cover. Isn't that awesome? It's really pretty. This faux wood is really cool too. I really like it. And then you open that up and here's what you got. So right here you've got a wireless charging pad. You drop your phone on there, it charges. Then you got a USB-C plug, or is that a C? Yeah, USB-C plug, fast charging right there. Here you can see cup holders, and then you see that has a Mercedes key. If you set your Mercedes key right there, it will reset the security so that if for some reason your key is out of sync or you need to reprogram it, that'll work right there. You can also, if your key is dead, so your fob dies, you don't have any battery, drop it in there, the RFID reads, it'll let you start the car. Now, I'm trying to remember what this is for. So you can remove it. That's what it was. and then you can put it back and you lock it in place with that. Now right here, this is the controls for the infotainment on this. Use this to jump tracks. Here's the quick for the home. There's a back button. Easy to use. You actually push those, right? So that you push them like buttons. Over here's a volume control. Now here's the lab pipes again. So there's a secondary one. There's your engine stop start. These are the usual spots for these in a Mercedes, by the way. And then down here is the camera view. So if you want a camera or park, right there. Over here you got traction control. This is the suspension control, so it's part of the drive mode, but you can toggle it manually to turn the tightening of the dampers on and off right there. And then this is your drive mode settings, so you can make individual settings there. And then this is for drive mode selection as well, so you can do it here or on the steering wheel. Then you got this armrest, right? It's opens up, shuttle bay doors, and you got the storage area here. You got a couple of USB plugs. I believe they're both USB-Cs. As far as I can tell, there are no regular USBs in here. There may be somewhere, but I have not seen them. And that's pretty much it. This is what you got. This has a little spot that goes forward here. You could throw extra keys or something in there if you really wanted to, like for a valet. Down here, somebody left their plug, which is funny because I don't know if there's anywhere to plug that in. But anyway, this is the storage. Now going over to the seating, this is a usual Mercedes, so fully adjustable. Use that little top button there. It adjusts this thigh support. Bottom one is for the rest of it. It goes up and down as well as back and forth, so you push it up and down or back and forth. Seat backs and headrest, so you can move the headrest. Then you can see seat memory on that side. That's the same on the driver's. Everything is in the same position, just mirrored. And then you can see the warming and whatnot and all of that. So beautiful dash design, really good looking. This is a black leather kind of a look, and then it comes and it has this sharp point that has stitching on it, and then it comes down like this, is broken by this brushed, I guess it's aluminum, yeah, it looks like aluminum, brushed aluminum here, and comes down more soft plastic here, and then the soft plastic glove box cover there, and you just see the stitching throughout this. Just wonderful, wonderful look. Beautiful feel in this car. You can see the rear seats, they look pretty good. I'll show you the cargo area, very, very nice. Plenty of space, really well done vehicle. It's just beautiful and fast. Don't tell anybody that I found that out, but this vehicle's very fast. It's wonderful. So there you go, that's what I got. This is the BMW AMG 63. This is a great SUV. So great to drive. Feels so good. So comfy and fast. So there you go. This has been Aaron on autos.com. Talk to you again soon. Subscribe.